Unit 25. Gateway. Libraries are becoming increasingly interested in the services they are providing for their users. This is an important focus, especially as more and more information becomes available electronically. However, the traditional strengths of libraries have always been their collections. This is true still today, especially in research libraries. Also, collection makeup is the hardest thing to change quickly. For example, if a library has a long tradition of heavily collecting materials published in Mexico, then even if that library stops purchasing all Mexican imprints, its Mexican collection will still be large and impressive for several years to come, unless they start withdrawing books. Likewise, if a library has not collected much in a subject and then decides to start collecting heavily in that area, it will take several years for the collection to be large enough and rich enough to be considered an important research tool. Exercise 1. Making a discovery, whether in the laboratory or library archives, about something that no one else in the world knows at a particular time is a thrilling experience for an undergraduate student. College students who have the opportunity to participate in undergraduate research can experience this thrill of discovery. They may identify a new bacterial strain, make a connection between previously separate concepts, or uncover long-forgotten archival documents that lead to a new understanding of an issue. Nearly every U.S. college and university includes undergraduate research experiences in the learning opportunities offered to students. Institutions of higher education of all types are implementing a number of creative approaches to facilitate innovation, problem-solving, and discovery, and they see undergraduate research as a critical vehicle for achieving these objectives. Exercise 2. A professor sent his sociology class to a school in a slum to record case histories of 200 young boys. The sociology students concluded that each boy appeared doomed to a bleak future. More than 2 decades later, another sociology professor sent his class out to find out what had happened to these 200 boys. Of the 180 still surviving in that neighborhood, all of these men had achieved extraordinary success as doctors, lawyers, and productive members of the community. The professor, determined to find out how these men had beaten seemingly overwhelming odds, followed up with interviews. Each of the men credited the same particular teacher, someone who had seen great potential in each of them. This teacher's expectations, held with conviction, drove her to actively nurture and support imminent success in all her students. Exercise 3. Samuel and Pearl Olliner found large differences between European Gentiles who harbored Jews from the Nazis and those who did not. Rescuers reported close childhood associations with more people of different social classes and religions. Moreover, while growing up, they felt a sense of similarity to a wider and more varied group of people than did non-rescuers. Not only was this expanded sense of we related to their decisions to aid people different from themselves during the war, but also, when interviewed half a century later, rescuers were still helping a greater variety of people and causes. All this suggests a piece of advice for prospective parents who want their children to develop a broadly charitable nature. Give them positive contact in the home with individuals from a wide spectrum of backgrounds. Exercise 4. Have you ever said something to your child like the following? "Your room is a mess. I want you to clean it up before you go to the game." Have you then wondered why she didn't do what she was told to do right away and with a smile? You made a unilateral decision, and she was expected to carry it out according to your time frame and standards because, after all, I'm the parent. This attitude, however, fails to consider the child's point of view. When you neglect to consider your child's thoughts, feelings, needs, and possible solutions to getting the room cleaned, you do so at the risk of losing her respect and goodwill. Your child's grumbling resistance is, in effect, a natural consequence of your choice to operate without her input.